Hi, my name is Jennifer Marciani. I run Misfits Rehab, which is a wildlife rehabilitation facility. So at Misfits Rehab, we take care of injured, orphaned, and sick wildlife with the purpose of returning them back into the wild as a healthy, viable animal back into their native habitat, where nature intended. I've had a long time love of animals ever since I was a little kid, and Misfits Rehab came about in 2002. I got my wildlife rehabber permit after finding an injured gull. I brought it to the veterinarian, and the veterinarian happened to be a wildlife rehabilitator. And I said, or she said to me, that, oh, you must be one of the new wildlife rehabilitators. And I had never heard of such a thing before. And I was like, no. And she was like, oh, well, what you're doing is illegal. So if you're interested in becoming a wildlife rehabilitator, I can get you hooked up and trained. And so from that day forth, I started my training. I take care of all kinds of native wildlife. The only thing that we really don't do is birds. Birds are a federal permit, and we just have a state permit. So we take care of mostly mammals. I specialize in bats. They are definitely one of the biggest misfits, since a lot of rehabbers will not deal with the bats. We deal with porcupines, opossums, squirrels, weasels, pretty much anything else you can think of smaller than a bear. So a typical day here is anywhere from 5 to 35 phone calls of injured, orphaned, or sick wildlife. Rather it's somebody finding a hit-by-car turtle in the road, or somebody chopping down a tree and finding some injured/orphaned squirrels that were in the nest of the cavity. We get calls all day long from sunup to sundown, and even after sundown. I think one of my biggest memorable rescues, and I do have on our webpage, we have a whole thing of memorable rescues, documenting different ones that have meant a lot to me. But I think the one that would stand out the most is actually a tattoo on my shoulder. It is a bat that was horribly abused after it was injured. The woman kept it for a week, starved it the entire time, did not feed it until the day before she called me. She fed it milk, which is not a good thing for any adult animal. Made it walk on its broken wing for a week because it had a broken wing, and she wanted it to groom itself, so because she couldn't touch it to clean it. And then after all of that, she finally surrendered it to us after keeping it for a week. Promised me up and down that her and her children and her family did not touch the bat with bare hands the entire week that they had it. And then when she hands it over to me, she has a glove underneath the bat, so she kind of scoops it up with the glove on top of her hand and then pets it with her bare hand, kisses it on the back, and hands it to me. Which means that bat now has to be euthanized and tested for rabies. So it was this big long torture session of a week, and then it ended up with having to die anyway, and it was horrible, and it scarred me for life. But she definitely deserved a better life, and she touched my heart and just drove my passion for bat rescue even harder. I think the long-term goal for Misfits Rehab, once upon a time, it was going to be to start like a big center, like a big rehab facility kind of thing, and that has gone out the door. I have seen too many big facilities either turn into just all about the money and not about the animal, or people actually get ousted from the organization that they started. So once it becomes a business and you have a board of directors, you can find yourself on the outside looking in to what you founded. So Misfits Rehab is definitely going to be staying local, private, just me and a handful of volunteers, taking care of wildlife as them being the priority and not about money. I think what we need most, currently at least, would be financial funding is our biggest downfall right now. We are deeply in debt, between formulas that's needed, veterinary bills, all of that has put a significant debt We are also looking for more volunteers, but I will be honest, I am horrible at following up with people that want to volunteer. I definitely need people that are tenacious and really want to come and do this so that they can keep at me until we get things started. Anybody can donate multiple ways. We have tried to open up accounts with everything. So we have at Misfits Rehab for Venmo. Be very careful on the Venmo because there is a fake account that has our old logo and it has an extra B at the end of rehab. So make sure that you're donating to the charity Misfits Rehab. We have Cash App, PayPal, Zephy. We have GoFundMe going. We have pretty much every platform that you could try. On Facebook, you can donate through the donation button. To the amazing community that I have that support me and back me, thank you for one. And just continue spreading the word of if you find injured orphan wildlife, whatever the issue is, wear gloves. Don't touch an animal with bare hands, especially a rabies vector animal, which includes bats, skunks, even groundhogs are considered a rabies vector animal. Just to keep everybody safe, use gloves, use a towel, use something when rescuing. Make sure the animal's secured in a box. I just had a bat that was put in a box that was too shallow and it kept getting out until they finally lost it, and now that animal's probably gonna die. So secure box, use gloves, keep it away from pets and children, and call a rehabber. Don't try to do Dr. Google. If you want to reach out, you can either text me, which is usually the best way because my hands are usually full. It's really hard to answer the phone when you're trying to wrestle a raccoon or doing sub-Q on a bat. So text is definitely easier, 207-212-1039. You can give me a call, leave a message, or text me. And you can also email us at donate or rescue. Rescue's the easier one. rescue@misfitsrehab.org.